I'm telling us, the Marion County Commission, I'd like to invite everybody to come out this weekend, the 22nd and 23rd, Winfield, to the annual Mule Day. Big celebration every year. Be thousands and thousands of people there. Anything you want to eat, buy, any kind of music. Starts about 5:30 or 6 o'clock Friday night, goes through late Saturday evening. Just like to invite everybody.
State Bank and Trust has been invested in Winfield and Marion County for more than a century. And today, we remain deeply committed to meeting the needs of local families and businesses with excellent financial products and friendly down-home service.
But more than that, we're dedicated to supporting the growth, success, and well-being of our community as a whole. Because when it comes right down to it, there's nothing more important than community.
And just like our outstanding city officials, police, and fire departments, you can count on State Bank and Trust to help make Winfield and Marion County a great place to live for everyone who calls this area home.
Hello everyone, this is Chuck from Span Hardware in Winfield, Alabama. Good to be with you today, and I just want to let you know we've got some new things this year for the spring season. As you can see, Stihl now has the lawnmower. We're going to have a full line of the Stihl zero-turn mowers. We have a full line of the Stihl weed trimmer and chainsaws. Just about anything you need to maintain your home this spring and summer. From lawn and garden equipment to paint to hardware, anything you need. Come see us. We'll help you if we can. Thank you.
This is Eric Simmons from Furniture Depot. We have a store in Guin and Fayette. We've been serving the people of Northwest Alabama for 23 some odd years. We'd like to be your furniture store if you'd let us. And we'd like to thank you for your business this past year and invite you to come and shop with us this coming year and for the years to come. Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year.
Hello, Lee Hines here, owner-operator of Alexander's Heating and Air Conditioning. We've been family-owned and operated since 1954, proudly serving Marion, Fayette, and Lamar County. We are carrier factory authorized dealers, but service all makes and models. We specialize in residential and light commercial HVAC systems. So as we get ready to enter another hot Alabama summer, please remember Alexander's Heating and Air for all your HVAC needs.
Tom Bigby Electric Cooperative was formed for the need for electricity to the local citizens that were living in the rural areas of Marion, Lamar, and portions of Fayette counties. This line consisted of 12 miles and 22 consumers on the road from Guin to Sulligent. Between then and now, there has been a lot of hard work and dedication from a great number of people to make this cooperative what it is today. Tom Bigby Electric Corporation would like to thank each member. You can contact us today at 205-921-6712.
Your story starts at Bevel State Community College. Whether you are just starting out or starting over, Bevel State has an opportunity that is right for you. With 5 locations serving 7 counties. You don't have to go far to start your own success story. Plus, with tuition lower than 4-year colleges, you won't need to spend more for a great education. Visit us online at bscc.edu to learn about your options for seamless academic transfer and high-demand career tech and health science offerings. Let us help you tell your story.
Enjoy our amazing on-site restaurant and bar with a lunch buffet every Sunday. Relax with a quick getaway with your family and make a splash in our outdoor pool. Book your next event with us. Call us at 205-468-4625.
At Bowen Funeral Home, we understand the importance of a personal commitment to provide quality services and products with value to meet every family's need. You'll find very caring professionals that truly desire to offer dignified service and true value that families need and desire during the loss of their loved one. With our newly renovated facilities, services, and quality merchandise, you can rest assured that we stand ready to meet the needs of your family in honoring lives lived. Bowen Funeral Home is located at 981 Alabama Highway 253, just south of Winfield High School. Call Tommy Bowen, Certified Funeral Service Practitioner, at 205-487-4327.
I'm telling us, the Marion County Commission, I'd like to invite everybody to come out this weekend, the 22nd and 23rd, Winfield, to the annual Mule Day. Big celebration every year. Be thousands and thousands of people there. anything you want to eat, buy, any kind of music. Starts about 5:30 or 6 o'clock Friday night, goes through late Saturday evening. Just like to invite everybody out. Thank you.
It don't matter if the line it don't, you know? It's gonna be the same problem.
Let's pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this another day of life, and we thank you for the blessings you've given us. We thank you for this opportunity we have to come together as a community and govern ourselves. We ask that you would be with our leaders and be with all the decisions they make, that they remind them that they are supposed to make a decision that's best for our city, which in Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Which way you like it, man? Huh?
Oh, okay.
I'd like to welcome everybody to September 19th, Winfield City Council meeting. First item on the agenda is approve the minutes. I need everybody to look at the minutes. The city clerk has asked me to make sure that there's a memorandum put on here about the per day meal expense when travels outside the city for conferences or different events that employees have to go to. She's already said she's been questioned about if somebody does online classes. Well, that's not traveling. I don't see the world could do online classes. How a out-of-pocket meal, take the council needs to look over that and make sure that we got make sure that it's stated exactly how you mean for this to be in to work for meal expense, travel expense. You know, we agreed the last council meeting to do $60, like 15, 15, and 30. If we got somebody that said it some way, and we agreed that on hotel expense or the event is taking place, whatever that fee is, the deal is, where those rooms is locked, that's what the city will pay for the duration of the event that they're there. If it's a 3-day event, if it's a 3-night stay, the city will cover the expense of the 3-night stay at the conference center where it be at. If an individual takes a vacation days, won't stay longer, then the 4th day would be on that employee's out-of-pocket expense of their own. We discussed if they take a personal vehicle to one of these events, that the rate, we discussed that rate. I think now it's what's the per day, what's the per mile rate, 60-something cents? 65 cents, whatever the statute is, what we'll pay for somebody taking a personal vehicle. If somebody chooses to keep having to turn in meal tickets, if somebody's got a meeting in the morning, they leave out first thing in the morning, the breakfast expense, the meal expense would be on the city, and the lunch expense, and if they spend the night, the dinner expense, whatever meals they're out of pocket for during the conference or time of stay for the conference. That's the way I understand it. That's how it needs to be, and that's kind of how I intended for increasing that because of the cost of food and everything else. Why I thought it'd be simpler. Some people don't eat breakfast, some people don't eat lunch, some people just eat 1 meal a day, and some people eat 4 meals a day. And that's why I figured it'd be better to set a rate amount, and that's how we discussed it the last time. But Angie wasn't here, and I wanted her to understand how it was meant, where when she gets questioned, we should have a good understanding of how that 15, 15, 30 needs to work, and then the mileage rate. And she wants a memorandum. Let me pass this. We increased it from 40 to 60 a day. No receipts will have to be turned in after the time of stay or whatever. I leave a lot of the up to the department head. If we get an employee that's not a department head, most of these conferences is the department head actually going, but sometimes there's an occasion where, especially in the firemen, we may have firemen out doing taking different classes of different things. And I think it's pretty cut and dry. When you're out of pocket and you're on city meeting for the city and for conferences or schooling or whatever it may be, classes, it's pretty simple, what time that you're actually out. And, I look for the department heads to oversee the employees that work under them to make sure that they don't take advantage, they try to take advantage of the expense when it's not due, trying to get it. It's simple, 15, 15, 30. It's $60 a day. If you're going to be gone half a day and you're back after lunch, we'll have dinner, you don't have dinner at home, so dinner does not, you don't get a $30 dinner allowance because you're back home. It's while you're out of town. That's the way the council kind of sees it the same way. You can attach that memorandum to those minutes to reflect.
You have to stay the night before you can get the $30.
Any other questions about that?
That's why I said nothing like the need to define out of town. You can soak
Spend
your
the
night.
night out of town to get the $30.
See what I'm saying? If you go to Jasper, like you said, you're done 2 or 3 o'clock, but you still, is that considered out of town? If you're coming back to Winfield?
Well, we had someone driving back and forth to Russellville, but you would still get the lunch.
You still get breakfast and lunch, you just won't get the dinner because you're coming back home. Only way you can get the dinner is you spend the night.
And that's how that needs to read. So if somebody's driving back and forth to Russellville for a training.
Breakfast and lunch be it.
What if you go to a meeting 300 miles away and it lets out at 4 o'clock in the afternoon? You're not going to be home for supper.
You're driving back that night, that's on your own.
I don't think so. I think you should be able to get a meal on the way back home. Or else I'm going to spend the night because I'm going to eat.
That's why I said you need to define out of town.
And we just write however on that, we can make
We
that.
don't want to make it too complicated.
Right. But it needs to be more specific on that, because we have a lot of people that just do day trainings, and they're out of town. I just need to know if they need to be paid. Like what, $60 half a day, their receipts, like.
How about you run it, if it's in question, if you got one that's in question, just run it by me. Right. If I need to, I'll reach out to the council and we'll take a vote. That's a good idea. I think pretty much understand, like James said, if somebody that leaves the meeting at 3 o'clock, it's going to be 12 before you get home, and I think dinner ought to be included in it. I mean, that's pretty much a good.
So if it's 3 o'clock and you're coming from Jasper, that's a different story.
Yes, a different thought, yeah. I mean, because you'll be back before your quitting time at the city anyway. Yeah.
Save the city $150 on not taking a room and drive home. $30 is nothing.
But nobody's going to spend the night in Jasper. I mean, they shouldn't.
I'm not going to spend the night here. Well, I had to.
Yeah.
Hospital, my head and brothers, I couldn't get up and leave. I take it back.
So that being said, I need to know what else you got, any other question, how those minutes are being recorded. I need to comments about it. I need to ask for a motion to approve those minutes with adding that. Make sure that add an understanding of how that per day, being, expenses be looked at. Tim made a motion, I need to ask for a second. James, second, all in favor? No, there's nobody here on behalf of Tom.
He had a conflict, he'll have to come next time.
All right, we'll skip that, we'll table that for the next round. Next item on the agenda is, we got Chief Allen Stovall here with the fire department. Asked to be on the agenda.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. At the last meeting, the mayor mentioned at the end of the meeting, possibly posting for another job at the fire department before the upcoming budget. And I just wanted to come here tonight, and I've talked to 2 or 3, I haven't been able to talk to everyone, but see if the council would consider allowing us to post that job this time.
Based on the chief's recommendation that he's going to hire another full-time fireman for his department, I'm going to make a recommendation to the council allow him to post that position. I need to ask for a motion. Gina made a motion, Keith second, all in favor?
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is the other chief of the police department, department training, Chief Ferguson.
I gave each one of you a solution proposal is what they addressed it as. Councilman Pollard was there at the office when I actually had a Zoom meeting about this, and I asked him if he wanted to sit in while he was there. So he got to listen to this. About 6 months ago, up till about 6 months ago, we had training on our policies and procedures through a group called Virtual Academy. It was a little bit cheaper than Lexapro. Lexapro is has always been the leader in policies, not just for police, but for fire and EMS. So the last chief conference that I went to, one of the founders of Lexapro was there, and I told him what I was dealing with as far as our policies and procedures. They're supposed to be updated, gone through and updated at least every 2 years. I'm 7 years in and we have, Todd and I converse regularly about our SOPs, and there are changes that we've made as far as you guys probably know that in order for us to receive funding, we had to have something in our SOP about chokeholds. If you didn't have, it was a situation where you didn't have to put it in your SOP, but you weren't going to get any funding. So we had to reach out and we had to make some changes. We've done changes like that. As far as the guys being tested on that, I don't have anything in place for that. For them to be able to come in and get a testing type criteria that goes in their personnel file. I guess you know that today policing is your department is only as good as your standard operating procedure. And it's always been, what I'm doing now is I just send out copies every so often as AMIC has prescribed. But I don't like that. It doesn't give them a backing. It doesn't give the city a backing as far as when they're in the event that they're sued. Just let's say they're in a shooting, it's a use of force, and it's going to be, regardless if it's a justifiable use of force, there's still, you guys are going to face civil litigation. We're going to face civil litigation, and we're only as strong as what our policies are. This company goes in and they actually revamp your complete policy from start to finish. They completely go through it. They completely rework it. It's something that Todd would be, it's done over the internet, so Todd would be able to look at it and approve of how it's worded for us. But it is specifically for Winfield Police Department. And there's daily bulletins. If you look on the third page of the solution proposal, there are Police One Academy. There's a subscription to that to where the guys can go in. They can actually get 6 hours of CEU training a year just by watching those videos. They're current, up to date. We can actually put videos on as well if they're passed through our legal. Policy manuals, there's over 155 different policies. If you'll look, your other sheet, which gives the tier implementation policy tiers, gives everything that's in that SOP, everything that they cover. That is, if there is a case law that's done through the year, they automatically send out what the correction is on that case law. They send it to you and they rewrite it for your policy. So you don't have to go out and find where that policy is at. They send it to you, and as soon as it's done through the Supreme Court, it becomes part of your policy. At that point in time, it goes out to the guys. The guys take a test on it. It's signed. It comes back to me, it goes in their personnel file. Everything is updated and kept current in everything that you're doing. So you don't have to have a revamp because it's done every year. Daily training bulletins. Mr. Gordon Graham, who was one of the founders of Lexpo, designed this, and you can go and look him up. He was working for LAPD, and they used the daily training bulletins today because of what he came up with. In short, this is a web-based platform. The guys can go out and they can pull it up on their laptops in their car. It also is on their phone, so at any given time, they can pull up a policy. If they're unsure of what to do, how to do, when to do, they can pull that policy up on their phone just like that. They can search through the criteria, and they're good to go. If at any point in any time that they have any question about what their boundaries are. The pricing is on the back. The yearly subscription, and Councilman Pollard and I, I told him what, the size agency that we were. I told him that I felt like we were paying more than what we were getting on the last company that we went with. I felt like it was a waste of the city's money, so I stopped. But we have nothing now. Now we do have an SOP. We do, like I said, I do send out emails on that. They're not trained. To have a sit down monthly, the overtime, just overtime for that would be roughly $3,200 a month. The one issue with this, there's a one-time implementation fee that gives you full implementation of all tiers, all 5 tiers, and that cost is $14,205.20. So you're looking at somewhere around $27,000 for your first year. I called them back and asked them, could we do this in a 50-50 split? And they said they didn't have a problem with that. They don't like doing paying for a subscription and then paying for implementation. They'd rather just call it 50-50 and you give 50, say, at the end of this year, 50 at the next fiscal year. From then on, you're paying $13,246.80. I took this down and I let Todd look at it, and ask him what he thought, because he's got my current policy. He knows everything that we've done as far as what we do. But this is what keeps me up at night, is these policies and procedures. And I know it don't sound like a lot, but it is. It's what protects these. It's what protects these folks. It's what protects my people. They're only as good as their policy. And if I can make sure that they have the most current, up-to-date policy, and I train them and drill them on it, there's no excuse for doing anything any less.
When did you stop the other policy?
About 6 months ago.
And that policy was running what?
It was a web-based system as well, and it sent out some training bulletins, but they were antiquated and kind of out of date. The problem that I had was the testing process on the policies and procedures. They could not look them up. They had to be at their computer to do it, and the test was not sent to them to where they had to check it off, and it was sent to me. Some of them were doing them, some of them wasn't doing it. And when I got to talking to them, it was an issue that they were having a hard time working. It was a very complicated system. I worked with the engineer, software engineer, 3 different phone calls, and he kept telling me, yeah, this is an issue that we have, but we just need to work it through it. Well, you guys as the city were paying a lot of money for them to basically let me work through it. And I just had a problem with that. We paid for it for, I think, 3 years.
What was the price of that compared to this?
You didn't have the upfront implementation, but they also didn't give you yearly updates.
I mean, is it price comparable? How much?
Yes, it was around $10,000 to $12,000.
So it was really already doing it.
Yes.
It's just what you wouldn't get the bang for your buck.
That's correct. And so at the end of, I mean, I really tried, because we got to have something in place, in my opinion. If you don't, you're setting yourself up for failure. I've always prided my folks on being the best as far as knowing what to do at a given situation, how to do it, how to be professional. If you go into a given call and you've got how to handle that call, what you can and can't do, it's much easier to do your job when you get there.
So really, we're continuing doing what we're doing with just, in your opinion, with a better application.
Yes, you're basically you're looking at comparing it from a Cadillac to a Winfield.
But the update on the SOP is worth the price per year.
Yes. Well, and I asked Todd, or I talked to Todd about this. I said, the way that I look at it, one claim, you're looking at roughly, let's just say $500,000.
If it's 7 years old now today, it's worth it. Needs to be updated.
Yeah, the whole thing does.
Yeah.
So you're requesting the council okay you to go forward?
And I'll try to answer any questions that I've got that you have for me. I've tried to. I want you to pay for a quality product, but if we're not going to use it, if we're not getting everything that we can get out of it, I'm going to let it go. I've had a couple of things that we've bought that I thought would be great. It worked. It was just too much for us.
Did you know they tried?
Based on Brett's recommendation that we allow him to move forward with this, and I'm going to ask for a motion to allow him to go forward.
I'll make that second.
Keith, all in favor?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Next item on the agenda, we've got a sealed bids for 2005 L250 XL Super Duty pickup. How many bids you got? We've got, where all we got that bid, where you got bids coming from that?
We had it on Gov Deals. You got the sheet there where we met reserve. We also posted it locally in 3 places, and had planned to put it in the newspaper, and due to some miscommunication, it did not get in the paper. But it did meet reserve on Gov Deals.
So we met the reserve on this one. Go ahead and tell you what. So it's a 2005 Ford F-250 two-wheel drive pickup that we put on there. The bid amount was $3,500.
That was also reserved. So, for reserve.
So based on that, we're kind of tied to under. We had a reserve set and it met it, so I need to ask for a motion to accept this bid for this 2005 F-250. James made it. Gina second. All in favor? Let them have it. All right. So the next item on the agenda is going to reflect that, I guess. Resolution number 1357 to award that bid. I need to ask a motion to pass this resolution, selling that vehicle. James made a motion, second. All in favor? Gina second. my desk everywhere I'm at. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 1358 to award the contractor for the demolition on the CDBG grant. That's what Lou said. Go ahead, Lou. Tell us what you got.
We opened bids on last Monday, September 11th. We had 2 bids. One was Robinson and Sons out of Haleville, and but the low bidder was Robertson Excavating out of here in Winfield. Their bid was $303,459. I would recommend awarding that bid to them. I will say that that was $18,000 over the grant. The grant estimate, which was at $285. However, there was a lot of dirt and silt fence set up in there. I think that we'll probably use all that, so I don't think we're going to have any problem getting the actual price down below the actual grant amount. So.
Based on Luke's recommendation to accept that low bid from Robertson Excavating here in Winfield, I need to ask for a motion to approve. Pass that. Robertson. James made a motion. Gina, second. All in favor? It's going to be, like I said, the resolution number 1358. It's kind of fortunate to have somebody local to bid on that. I mean, to get bids on. I think we spoke with up in Muscle Shoals. I think they had a problem with people even bidding on getting bids for it, because I received a phone call about would I be interested in bidding up there. It's too far and snaky for me, but it's getting harder to get people to bid on certain projects. So I think we're fortunate to get Robertson to bid on that here.
Mayor, can I cover, I didn't have this on the agenda, can I cover Midway before?
Yeah, go ahead, what do you?
Okay, the other bid that we got was not as good. We opened bids for Midway Drive back on August 18th at 10 o'clock. We only had one bidder. It was Glasgow Construction, and the bid was $489,000. However, since we only had one bidder, I've been able to kind of negotiate with them, and there was a few things. One, we had a quantity on there on our concrete was way high for some reason. I think we left it from when we were planning to do 3 culverts, and so we had that. Our concrete quantity was high, and also our crushed base aggregate quantity was high. And so we also had the asphalt set up in that project originally. Well, when you set up asphalt in a project that small, the prices are going to go way up. So what I talked to the contractor about was taking out the asphalt, because we already have a contract in place that we're fixing to start next week, hopefully. And so we already had that contract in place. So I talked with that asphalt company and asked him would he honor that price once we got through with this project. He agreed that he would do that. So taking out the asphalt and taking out the other things, I was able to get the price down $177,472 lower. So that would make the contract price $311,333.40. Now that's still about $90,000 over FEMA's estimate, but we bid this thing twice. I don't know anything else to do to get it any cheaper. So I would say we need to go ahead and just award it and get it done. And I will do my best to get more money out of FEMA, but I've been back and forth with them a year. The thing about that project that they cannot understand and can't take into consideration is the utilities. That's what's got the price jacked up so high. Normally when they place concrete on a job, like when, for example, we did Regal, the price per cubic yard on concrete was about $800. On this project, it's $2,000. And the reason they just got to go around, so many utilities that get it's going to take a lot more time. So with that being said, what I would recommend doing is awarding the original contract amount, and then I have a contract change order that we would take away these these items I just spoke to you about to get the contract down to $311,000.
FEMA has agreed to pay how much?
$220,000.
$220,000. Okay. I don't know, y'all realize how long this has been going on? It's over 2 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been going on for a little over 2 years. There's a risk, is there a risk that FEMA could pull off on it?
Yeah, well, I mean, we keep having to renew the contract, or I keep having to renew the deadline. I've done it 3 times.
We're going to run out of time, for the kind of reason I want to hear him say it. We're going to run out of time. The road, it's got to be fixed where it's at because it's too much of a well-traveled road going to King Cutter and coming up from there. I think we're fortunate to get the $220,000 paid toward the project. If we hadn't done that, we'd be out the full amount for the project. Luke's done a good job back and forth with FEMA, I've met with Luke, with FEMA, trying to get them on our page, so to speak, instead of just being on their page. But it's a hard road to hold with them when it comes to trying to fix the way we think it needs to be fixed, and then the way they're saying that it's got to be fixed. But I think I agree. I mean, I do agree with Luke that we need to go ahead and award this project. We're going to be out a little money, but it's no different than any other CDBG grant that we get to do a road into somewhere or something. We've always got a matcher, so that's kind of how I'm looking at it. We got a matcher to fix this road. And while we got the $220,000 available for us, I think instead of kicking the stone, keep trying to get it lower, I think we need to go ahead and move forward and let him try to, during the process, to save us any money that he can. We'd ask for a motion to go ahead and accept that bid from Glasgow. That's another local company. They did this other project. They done a fine job up here at Winfield. So I don't think we've got any problem with the kind of work that they do.
Do you know when they can get started?
Well, they're on 36 now, and they basically, I think they have one more project. They'll finish 36 in probably a month, and then I think they have one more small project. So I think it's probably going to be November, December when they get started.
Second. Jim made a motion, Tim second. All in favor?
Thank y'all.
Luke, we appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
You said something about they fixed start paving roads.
Yes, I'm sorry. They're supposed to start next week. Now, what's been the hold up? They're paving on the interstate, and when they do that, they're running a certain kind of mix, so they can't get asphalt until they finish that. So, but I think they're supposed to start next week after Meal Day.
Yeah, we got to get busy over there in Great Circle covered. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 1359, NACOG contract for aging services. This is a contract that we do every year. You're over that department, aren't you? So, has anybody got any questions about this contract that we have? Which we've had her in here a good bit this last 2 months about what she's doing down there at the community center and with this program. I need to ask for a motion to pass this resolution number 1359 for this contract with aging services. Gina made a motion and Larry second. All in favor? Since we're on aging service. Susan, you want to bring all the rest of the council up to speed while we're on this subject of aging service about what you've come up with?
I'm sure most of y'all noticed as you were walking in the bus sitting in the parking lot Wednesday night on my way to church, or as I was leaving to go to church, I was kind of looking at Facebook Marketplace because I was having no luck anywhere else finding a bus, so I had results there. And I found that one in a suburb of St. Louis. Sent it to Gina Bryant, Gina Estes, and the mayor. And the next morning, me and Gina Bryant sat down and talked. Me and Gina Estes talked with the mayor, all the council about it. They had it, the 2006 diesel. It's got a Duramax. That's about all I can tell you about it, and it seats 28 people. The guy FaceTimed us for us to listen to it run, sent us a video of it running. I sent all of that to the mayor. He listened to it, and Friday afternoon when I got off my bus route, my husband and I headed to a suburb of St. Louis, and we got the bus. They had it priced at $30,000, and I asked the gentleman that since with the distance we were having to travel, would they come down to 28? He gladly agreed, so we were able to get it for $28,000.
That's it. Like Susan, you know, the job that she's done trying to locate one and finding one to get the back of them, and I'm real satisfied with that purchase that she's made.
The inside of it, for the age that it is in excellent condition. And considering the age it's at, the outside is too. There's just some nitpicky things wrong with it.
Good deal. Get busy using it.
Well, can I go on a trip October 9th?
We'll be there. We might be going on a trip.
Can I go on a trip October 9th, even though it don't say Winfield Senior Center on it?
You can't get that on there.
Can you paint it? Can you letter it where it doesn't say what it says and put our letters on it?
Take the Illinois tags out.
Well, I've got it. Well, I'm waiting on Angie to give me the tags.
We're working on it.
And I mean, you told me I'm gonna go on it, so I'll take it off if that's what it comes down to.
Strike it off the right, take it.
Well, it needs to be lettered for our bus. It don't need to be lettered what it is.
Susan, I did get a
Have to change,
response.
but she's going to use it before she says you can get that changed, aren't you?
Well, unless I get it changed pretty quick. We're out of school tonight.
Ma'am?
We're out of school tonight. And they're wanting to go to Buc-ee's.
The seniors, you want to go to Buc-ee's?
The senior citizens want to go to Buc-ee's, so we're going to go to Mount Chion
He said that
Buc-ee's.
if she would bring it by there, let him look at it, and make sure he could take it off, because if it was self-using vinyl, he could take it off.
Jen, tuck some white vinyl sign tape and cover it up.
Well, he said he could remember about $100, and then the cost of.
That you talked to her about it.
Well, she and I talked before council started, so I sent him a message, and then he responded and said for her to bring it, let him look at it, and he would give us a quote, or to find out what we wanted it to say, and all that kind of stuff. Did you hear what he said to bring it down there?
Okay, I'll run it over.
Keep up the good work, Susan.
Hey, okay, let me ask y'all this, do y'all, when we have him do this, do we want to put Winfield Senior Center, or do we want to put City of Winfield?
Susan's bus, get on for a ride.
What does the other one say?
This says City of Winfield.
I'd put senior shag wagon if it was me.
Well, on the back of it, I want to put, don't tell us to act our age, we've never been this old before.
You're putting danger all
It's
the
okay
people
on
on
the
board.
shirt, they're not on the bus.
But we're too old to worry about going to prison.
Like that.
Well, you gotta be 60 and up, so you can go.
We're too old to worry about going to
Hey, you gonna
prison.
tell them I'll write your name on the list tomorrow.
Life in prison don't mean nothing to us. Last time plus, and now it's
Well, it's the same thing. They have brought it to you and then I'll put it out of your mouth.
What name you want on?
I don't care.
That'd be good put on it.
I mean, it don't matter to me. I would just like to get the First Baptist Church, Fairview Heights, I don't remember where we went, Fairview Heights, Illinois, off.
Yeah, you definitely do.
All right. So you can get Bart to take a look at that.
Okay.
Next item on the agenda is old business. Keith, what old business have you got?
Nothing this week.
All right. Jim. Good. Larry? Jane?
Yeah. Have you taken the tank down, police department for gas yet?
They got not working on getting bids for
What did
that.
we decide on the limit on the mileage getting bids?
That's up to y'all on the limit.
Make a decision, it's gonna wait 2 years.
That bid, the current company that we're with now on the fuel bid, we're still using that same company.
We're currently using Mid-States Petroleum.
Is that who we had our bid with last year?
No,
Okay, what kind, how are they structured, what they charge you?
they're giving us their bid price from last year, which was 10 cents, I believe, over rack price. The company that had the bid went out of business. And so we went to the second bidder to finish out this year.
Right, but they're under their price last year.
Yes.
So have they had any problem with us doing that until we pass this resolution?
No, they have been very good to work with. That price will be honored through the end of September, just as it would have been if they had to bid the whole time.
This one last meeting.
Yes.
So we know that we know they do that. They get for them.
I mean, until we see how this is, until we see how this is gonna work out, we're probably gonna, we're kind of up against the wall. We're gonna have to go ahead and, award that bid to the.
We got 12 days to make our mind up.
Yeah, I mean, we won't have another council meeting prior to that. But just because we award that bid to them, that's not tying us to actually buying that gas.
I guess if we are, we'd like to be able to buy it from them too. You're obligated to sell it to us at that price, we obligated to tie it at that price.
We can't buy it from them. If we quit purchasing fuel in that manner, or fuel and gas products in that manner, we don't have to buy it from them. We can do, but if we're continuing to do it like that, that's the only company we can deal with and buy it from. But if we go to a different process, we can change.
That makes sense. That's my recommendation to the council, that we go ahead and accept that bid from Mid-States at, what was it, 14 cents? You don't negotiate. It's my recommendation to the council to allow me, knowing what the bid is, to let me see if I can negotiate that price with them. I need to ask the council to approve me to okay that purchase price if I cannot negotiate the price lower. I need to ask for motion to do that. Keith made a motion, Tim second, all in favor? All right, that's what we'll do.
I'd like to revise the bid on sheet next year.
And I won't, you know, James, you ain't got nothing else, have you?
I won't bring up the straight lines.
I won't bring up the straight lights. We got a call from a consultant. Somebody was with me, and I thought it might have been Angie, but I guess it was, I think it might have been Sandy when Angie was out. Which Tim has talked with a company that actually, I think, got the bid initially, I think,
It was one of the bidders.
One of the bidders. Part of the problem was the reason they didn't start on by September the 11th was there's been an issue, which Luke can relate to this a little bit because he's in the field of line of work that he's in, was traffic cones. They have to be able to furnish cones that what the state says has to be put out. I don't know if you've noticed these cones where they just, all they done was cut the entrance to that new facility over here on top of the hill past the hospital. And those cones start for a quarter mile, seems like, and run them cones all the way through there. But those cones, they have to have access to those cones. They have to rent those cones if they don't own those cones. Am I correct? In the Alabama Department of Transportation ALDOT, sometimes furnishes cones for projects. Well, they didn't have the supply for the cones. But the company that's going to do it has access to their own cones. It changed, the bids actually didn't come in until this past, I think, past 2-3 weeks. And it ended up being an issue with the first bidder being able to get the cones. Didn't have access to them, couldn't get them from the state. So the state working with the bidders, working with the contractor, with I believe it Shoals Electric now, I think is who's going to do the project. They didn't feel comfortable starting the project and having it finished by Mule Day this weekend. That because they didn't feel comfortable, they didn't want to have the cones strode out all through town. So they are set to start September the 25th. Is that right?
You ain't getting
September the 25th is where we're at now, of course, getting these poles out of the parking lot. So
the chief hadn't been notified yet.
Everyone does it here. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is I can't.
I understand.
You know, we got
Monday morning, we may come out here and 5,000 cones out here, and the chief has got to figure out how to get traffic stopped.
There's a lot of things he don't get notified about. He should get notified about. We ain't got time to go into all that tonight. But that's where we're at. And you know, I told you that ALDOT said that they were going to step in if it wasn't started. Well, ALDOT's is in agreements evidently to let this go to September the 25th before they step in and wood pole back up. So everybody on that end is on the same page. But I'll trust and we'll reach out to them again that they need to be notified. The chief here, let them know what's going on. But right now it's September the 25th when it's supposed to start the project. Angie showed me something a while ago where something's come in. No, it's not that. We got to have, we've got a contract on our lighting up here at exit 30. it's our responsibility to keep those lights functioning. And we've got some out, so that's one step that's coming. When they've done an inspection, we've got to get those lights repaired. We usually have Roger Estes do that when the bulbs need changing. Roger always took care of it at Boom Truck. This come in 11 o'clock today. This is from Sesco Lighting. This is a shipping status report. I mean, it's got a bunch of part numbers, but it's showing that it went out FedEx, shipped FedEx on the 18th. It's got the tracking numbers too. There's two different parts. And for it to go out FedEx, I don't think it's going to be very big. And it's probably some kind of little angle, piece of angle or something that's for these lights. So, I mean, we're still getting it.
So there's no way they can do it. I said they were still waiting on theirs. It was just shipped on the 18th. But we're going to do it on the 11th anyway.
Makes you think that.
Well, no, I mean, obvious. So that is just an excuse.
That's where we're at on lights.
That's what I understood.
We got to, like I said, we got to replace coverage over in Gray Circle, two different places over there. I'll be getting Rob and see if it's something he can handle. If it ain't, I'll be contracting somebody to put those covers in. Before we get this paving, because they're going to start this next week, I'd like to have that, like we did over here on Foothill. I guess I got nothing else. Business. All right, anybody else got nothing? I need to ask for a motion to vote. Got a motion from Keith, second by Larry, all in favor. All right, next item on the agenda, I need to ask for a motion to adjourn. Tim made that, Jen, Keith second, James second.
I'm Tim Estes, Marion County Commission. I'd like to invite everybody to come out this weekend, the 22nd and 23rd, Winfield, to the annual Mule Day. Big celebration every year. Be thousands and thousands of people there. Anything you want to eat, buy, any kind of music. Starts about 5:30 or 6 o'clock Friday night, goes through late Saturday evening. Just like to invite everybody out. Thank you.
State Bank and Trust has been invested in Winfield and Marion County for more than a century. And today, we remain deeply committed to meeting the needs of local families and businesses with excellent financial products and friendly down-home service.
But more than that, we're dedicated to supporting the growth, success, and well-being of our community as a whole. Because when it comes right down to it, there's nothing more important than community.
And just like our outstanding city officials, police, and fire departments, you can count on State Bank and Trust to help make Winfield and Marion County a great place to live for everyone who calls this area home.
Hello everyone, this is Chuck from Span Hardware in Winfield, Alabama. Good to be with you today, and I just want to let you know we've got some new things this year for the spring season. As you can see, Stihl now has the lawnmower. We're going to have a full line of the Stihl zero-turn mowers. We have a full line of the Stihl weed trimmer and chainsaws. Just about anything you need to maintain your home this spring and summer. From lawn and garden equipment to paint to hardware, anything you need. Come see us. We'll help you if we can. Thank you.
This is Eric Simmons from Furniture Depot. We have a store in Guin and Fayette. We've been serving the people of Northwest Alabama for 23 some odd years. We'd like to be your furniture store if you'd let us. And we'd like to thank you for your business this past year and invite you to come and shop with us this coming year and for the years to come. Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year.
Hello, Lee Hines here, owner-operator of Alexander's Heating and Air Conditioning. We've been family-owned and operated since 1954, proudly serving Marion, Fayette, and Lamar County. We are Carrier Factory authorized dealers, but service all makes and models. We specialize in residential and light commercial HVAC systems. So as we get ready to enter another hot Alabama summer, please remember Alexander's Heating and Air for all your HVAC needs.
Tom Bigby Electric Cooperative was formed for the need for electricity to the local citizens that were living in the rural areas of Marion, Lamar, and portions of Fayette counties. This line consisted of 12 miles and 22 consumers on the road from Guin to Sulligent. Between then and now, there has been a lot of hard work and dedication from a great number of people to make this cooperative what it is today. Tom Bigby Electric Corporation would like to thank each member. You can contact us today at 205-921-6712.
Your story starts at Bevel State Community College. Whether you are just starting out or starting over, Bevel State has an opportunity that is right for you. With 5 locations serving 7 counties, you don't have to go far to start your own success story. Plus, with tuition lower than 4-year colleges, you won't need to spend more for a great education. Visit us online at bscc.edu to learn about your options for seamless academic transfer and high-demand career tech and health science offerings. Let us help you tell your story.
Enjoy our amazing on-site restaurant and bar with a lunch buffet every Sunday. Relax with a quick getaway with your family and make a splash in our outdoor pool. Book your next event with us. Call us at 205-468-4625.
At Bowen Funeral Home, we understand the importance of a personal commitment to provide quality services and products with value to meet every family's need. You'll find very caring professionals that truly desire to offer dignified service and true value that families need and desire during the loss of their loved one. With our newly renovated facilities, services, and quality merchandise, you can rest assured that we stand ready to meet the needs of your family in honoring lives lived. Bowen Funeral Home is located at 981 Alabama Highway 253, just south of Winfield High School. Call Tommy Bowen, Certified Funeral Service Practitioner, at 205-487-4327.